Okay, I think we're live. Yeah, I think let's check it out in the lobby here. So, hey guys, we are here. My name is NCIX Wheels, also known as Chris, and
NCIX Anthony, also known as NCIX Anthony.
so yeah, we have a few topics here to talk about today. This is a special edition of Netlinked. We're doing it live because we can't present as well as Jack and Keys. So
yes, and Jack and Keys are also not here because they're both doing grown-up stuff. Well, one of them is. Jack is probably just playing with all the figurines and game codes that he got from PAX.
Yeah, Jack's recovering from PAX, and Keys is off on his honeymoon, so he's doing very important work over there. Yeah, so basically, want to know how you guys are doing, and how's the audio, guys? We have a USB mic this time because I know last time we were using like terrible laptop audio. So let us know in the comments how things are doing.
All right, someone's complaining about the echo, but we can't really do too much about the echo right now.
Yeah, the echo's kind of a problem. It's actually the studio, so if you guys have noticed, I'm sure the echo has been definitely a problem for all of our videos, and unfortunately, it's because we have a two-story studio which is metal, and so we're stuck with what we've got. All right, so topics rundown here. We're going to talk about the Haswell E launch. Going to talk about Anand from Anand Tech. He retired. We're going to talk about 285, which just dropped today. Yeah, that's right. And then we also have the NZXT S340 case that was just announced. And then a couple of other things. Cool.
Yeah.
So you want to kick it off? So it's, let's see, Haswell E?
Sure. So Haswell E just launched a bunch of pretty fast processors. We've got the 5930K, the 5820K, and the 5960X.
That's right.
The top one, which has, 16 cores in total now? It's pretty crazy. We've done some minor benchmarking of them so far. We just kind of hooked it up to our X99 system with some nice Corsair DDR4 RAM. We started overclocking, but we haven't really had much time with it yet, but we'll let you guys know what we can get.
Yeah, so we got 3 kits of RAM. We got like 2 Corsair kits and then a G-Skill kit. What was your experience with getting those all working? I think we have also an ASUS board, which is the
we have one ASUS board, the X99 Deluxe, with that nice white shroud that everyone likes. We've got a Gigabyte sample. I'm not sure which model that one's going to be. And we've got an X99 MSI gaming something or other.
Yeah, it's Gaming 5, I think. Anyways, it's MSI's. I think it's one of their middle range X99 offerings. So yeah.
So far, their speeds are pretty good. They're all hitting the 2800 megahertz. We've had some instability issues, but that's probably just down to us not really knowing how to use DDR4 well yet.
Also early production. I mean, it's DDR4. It's a brand new chipset, brand new processors. Oddly enough, so it's LGA 2011.
Yep, 2011-3.
-3, so it's revision 3. So I don't know where the revision 2
is. So it looks physically pretty similar, but it's not backwards compatible.
Yeah, so that's kind of a bummer. So no backwards compatibility. We were talking. It would. I think they physically fit. Do they?
I haven't tried.
Anyways, we haven't tried it, and I don't think we're gonna like mash our $1,000 processor into an old board. But X99 is brand new, and it's looking pretty impressive. Finally, getting some enthusiast quality stuff from Intel. I mean. For a while, we've had Sandy Bridge and Ivy Bridge, and those ones were lagging behind.
Yeah, it wasn't really a big jump in performance, whereas now we're seeing a larger gap than before.
Yeah, and not to mention, in addition to the hex cores, which are the K processors, we've got the X, which is now an 8-core, octa-core.
Yeah,
which is pretty amazing. I know Edsel over there. He has what is it? He has his
3960X.
He has his Xeon or whatever, and that's pretty crazy.
One thing that we really like so far, we've seen from the processors, they run really cool, and not just like sunglasses cool, but temperature cool. They really improved their thermal interface materials. So now we're getting temperatures of like 5 degrees above ambient temperature in our room when idle, and like I think only 20 degrees above ambient when running Furmark and Prime 95 and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Which is impressive. There's a lot of thermal headroom.
It's very impressive. They did clock down the 8-core because they had to reach that TDP, just because you're not going to be able to hit really good temperatures and very good performance if you're throttling all the time.
So that 5960X starts out at 3 gigahertz.
Yeah.
But we've got it up to 3.7 easily.
Yeah, that wasn't with very much trouble.
Yeah. So we'll be going. We'll try to hit 4, and we'll see what other people are getting.
I think what we might do is we probably are going to get some sort of water cooling setup going with our custom loop.
Yes.
And see how far we can actually push it. Yep. I think so. Yeah, it's really fun. So in case you guys don't know, we are the guys that write Linus's scripts, actually. So every single time you guys see a Tech Tips episode, that's Anthony and I writing those ones. And Jack and Keys write their own scripts for their episodes, but we're actually the guys doing Linus's scripts. So we're kind of like the guys behind the scenes working on like all the technical aspects. So Anthony here, he spends pretty much all week benchmarking stuff just so we can get them on the episodes. So you actually share 2 roles though here at NCIX. So you work at NCIX PC and you work at the Tech Tips studio. So he actually doesn't have all week to spend on it. You'll have like a day usually to spend on
a day or 2.
Yeah. So depending on what it is, obviously, it can get pretty hairy. Yeah. Anything else? So yeah. So there's a clock speed reduction. The fact that you have more cores though, and the IPC improvements, you're getting actually better performance than previous gen, despite the fact that they are slower.
Yep.
That's good. But if you guys are asking for gaming, which I'm seeing in the comments right now, you guys are asking about what's the gaming performance. Gaming performance is not the best because you're not having games take advantage of that yet. They're not programmed for multi-threaded applications. You're seeing games that basically use 3 threads, maybe 2 to 4.
I know Battlefield will actually try to scale up to as many as you have, but it's not really a big improvement.
No.
Most games use 2 to 4.
Yeah, if you guys are seeing the reviews, you're going to see pretty much the same stories. The reviews are saying that, hey, over the last generation 6 cores, you're not going to get a whole lot. Not only that, but these days, most games are not CPU capped and high-end.
Yeah, it comes down to your video card most of the time.
So it's Haswell E is definitely enthusiast. That's where the E comes from, and the Haswell E definitely is meant for, I would say, content creators and stuff like that, professionals and content creators. Because honestly, for gaming, you can get away with some pretty low-end CPU architecture. Like
most of the time, an Intel i3 or like an AMD FX 6300, that will do you just fine, even with like the highest-end video cards.
Actually, Edsel over at Linus Media Group, he's running a really old AMD system. I don't can't remember which processor he's got, but he's actually CPU bottleneck now because he's got 2 770s in SLI, and he's been definitely complaining about that. Piercing modded Skyrim. Yeah, it's true. If you mod games, you will need as much CPU power as you can get. But I mean, that's usually it's definitely in the vast minority.
Yeah.
Most games you're gonna see are definitely not gonna require all the horsepower in the world, unless you've got some custom scripts obviously running in the background. That comes with any game though. You can modify things to require as much as you need to. Next topic. You wanna kick it off?
Sure. So a lot of people like to read Anand, which is a pretty good tech blog, review site, stuff like that. The owner and original author, Anand, is finally retiring, which is sad news.
Yeah. So he's the founder. That's where the name comes from. He's headed to Apple apparently. I don't know. Was this a rumor or was this confirmed?
I think it's still a rumor, right?
No, it was confirmed. Yeah, confirmed by Apple. So this one was an article from TechCrunch, and so they said that Anand is going to be definitely diving into Apple. I'm not really sure. It's kind of an interesting move. I was discussing this with you earlier. A tech reviewer going to work for a company, I mean, definitely could help out on the marketing side, but
He kind of knows what people look for, what not to do, what type of marketing appeals to people.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting move though. But I must say, like Anand Tech has some of the best written articles in terms of tech. Like it's one of my favorite websites. Whenever he has an article on something, it's usually like head and shoulders above a lot of websites that are out there. Not saying that others are bad, but they have a really high quality and high level of writing, and they always make sure that a lot of their benchmarks are spot on.
Speaking of benchmarks, Anand probably has the best benchmark comparison tool out of any site I've seen.
Yeah.
There's this little drop-down boxes. You pick one card, pick another card, and it shows a list of almost every benchmark you could think of, comparing them.
Yeah, I'm seeing Sanctorum saying that he prefers Tom's hardware. Tom's hardware is good. They've been around for quite a long time, and they've got really good benchmarks, solid charts. But it's really, I mean, that's the thing, right? A CPU is a CPU. At the end of the day, you'll probably get 90% of the same information no matter where you go, which is whatever website. But basically, if you are looking for something that's really well written and really comprehensive, generally Anand's where I would go, anyways.
Pretty good.
So, all right, let's see. Oh, what laptop? They're asking what our laptops are. I'm running an MSI something or other, one of the Dragon Edition monstrosities. This thing is really heavy. Like this thing is just a monster. But you're running what?
Over here we've got the Asus G550, which a lot of people have been wondering about.
The JK, right?
Yes. So it's their newest gaming laptop. It's got the 880 inside.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I quite like this little metal trim here you got going on.
It's got a nice beveled aluminum edge with some red highlighting.
Yeah, I like it. It's definitely a nice laptop. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, we're streaming actually off of this system right here. And if you guys are getting laggy video, then yeah, let us know because it's probably because of our wireless. But it's we couldn't run a cable all the way to our network switches, which is all the way at the other end of the room. So we'll definitely do that next time.
We're getting some comments asking why we don't use Twitch. This is still a really early on experiment. We were just experimenting with YouTube and Google Hangouts just because that was the easiest solution. But Twitch and probably using stuff like Open Broadcaster software is probably the next step.
Yeah, I think if you guys like it, we're definitely going to go on Twitch. Just kind of the idea is that we want to have an easy platform to get going. And we already have a Google account. All of our subscribers are going to get it, and it automatically uploads right into our channel. So we like this for now. It just kind of suits our needs. If you guys like it and we get a ton of views on the archive and on whatever else, then definitely we'll look into it. But I think for right now, we're just trying to experiment. This is Netlinked left. So I think if you guys like it, we're gonna definitely ask you guys to give it a thumbs up. If you guys prefer the pre-taped Netlinked style, the original one, give us a thumbs down. And it's not anything that harsh. We just want to know whether you guys are liking it or not. So if you guys want more of this, then give us a thumbs up. If you prefer the old style, give us a thumb down. That's fine by us. We actually really want to know what you guys want in terms of content, because the last thing we want to be doing is making stuff that no one wants to see. You running on battery?
It's not plugged in.
You want to get the cord. You want to go get it. All right. While you do that, I'll start on the next topic. So let's see here. Yeah, so there was actually an article written on NY Meta that got picked up by a bunch of sites talking about this swatting terrorist that basically that got thrown in jail. It was actually a hoax, so yeah, don't get too excited. But basically, the site had claimed that there was this person that basically went to jail because he had been caught for 2 counts of domestic terrorism, and he was getting 25 to life, which got picked up by a lot of sites actually, like as legitimate news. But turns out, no, it's just a hoax. Although I must say, if that was actually the punishment, like I would not have any problem with that, because swatting's a serious thing. Like
you're pulling really valuable police force out to do a prank call. I mean. Yeah. There could be real emergencies going on, and they would be nowhere to be found because they're busy dealing with a streamer.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that you've got, you've got a ton of people that are highly invested in making everyone safe, and the fact that you guys these people would want to cause such a panic just for something like that. And not to mention that sometimes people get injured. I mean,
Yeah.
these policemen are going in with the understanding that there is someone that's dangerous on the other side of the wall. And let's say somebody jumps up in self-defense or jumps up and just gets surprised and grabs, let's say, their licensed firearm. They could definitely get injured or worse, they get killed. So definitely swatting is a dangerous trend, and I hope that it gets quashed really quickly because that's no good for anyone. All right, so we're just going to take some time here and mention that you guys are awesome, and we just want you guys to make sure that you guys check out our subforum that's on our website, forums.ncix.com. We know it's a little bit ancient. The forum system is going to get revamped, but for now it's our kind of discussion forum right now, and the NCIX subreddit as well. So reddit.com/r/NCIX tech tips, right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, r/NCIX tech tips, and we definitely want you guys to check it out. We respond to stuff, any and everything that gets posted there. We respond to, and yeah, we all have accounts. So we've got Jack and Keys and you and I. We're all on there. If you're seeing NCX.com, it's usually me. I'm usually the one that's managing the main user. But yeah, if you guys have any questions or discussion or anything you guys want to go, please post there. Yeah, we have definitely a lot of content there. We post all our videos there, so if you want to hit the subscribe button over at on Reddit, then that'd be awesome. Definitely awesome.
Yep.
Oh, I guess I should also mention the contest. If you were asking about the contest.
Yeah.
So the 1,000th video giveaway that we did just ended. So we said it was for the month of August. So the entries are now closed. If you go to the sites, you can still enter, but I've already taken off. I basically took it at midnight on Sunday and went and grabbed all the entries. We are going to announce the winner live. So we're going to do another one of these live streams. We're going to go on Monday the 8th at 3 p.m. So at 3 o'clock, we're going to go in and pick it live. So we're going to get our 20 winners for the bronze prizes, which is the game codes, the 2 winners of the Performance prize packs, and the 2 winners of the bare bone systems. So the AMD system and the Intel one, NVIDIA. So yeah, let's see here. Does Keys actually hate Linus? No, they love each other. Yeah, it's people are like, oh, Friday edition. There's so much aggression. It's all in good fun. Yeah, definitely, it's something that we do, but we are not no harm there. All right, let's talk about 285. You want to kick this one off?
Sure. We just got the new AMD Radeon R9 285. Yeah. Ours happens to be the twin frozen one from MSI.
Yeah.
We literally just got this morning.
Yeah, you want to do an unboxing? Real quick?
Sure, we can do an unboxing. So
yeah. we haven't even like done anything. This is literally from like the warehouse. We just picked this up and like grabbed it. But we have this audio. Yeah, sorry about the audio if there's clunking. But yeah, let's see what kind of accessories they give us.
Sure.
They gave us. I mean, this is pre-production, so like this one was like early. I doubt this is what you guys are gonna be getting, but they gave us a VGA adapter. Don't use that. If you guys are using this, then no, just get a new monitor. It's time. A quick start user's guide and a driver disc. Look at that.
This says have an optical drive.
There's a sticker in here that says this is not official DVD. Please download the official driver on the AMD website. Thanks.
Production sample.
Yeah, it's a really early production sample.
Right, so for the card itself, I mean, it's a twin frozen card. Not to discount MSI, but
you're saying it looks like every other twin frozen, do you?
It kind of does.
Yeah.
It has some similarities with all the other twin frozen cards. It's got 2 really big 100mm fans. Yep, that little dragon badge. Nice beefy heat pipe. 2 6-pin power adapters. No 8-pin.
Yeah, I'm liking the black PCB though. That's really nice. Yeah. Sexy black, because that's really what you see when you look in your case when you're above it. You're basically sitting upside down. So we have not benched it because we've just literally unboxed it for you guys. So basically, this is designed to replace the R9 280, hence the name, the 285. It's also meant to compete against NVIDIA's GTX 760. And so what we've seen initially is that it seems like it's beating
the 760, and it's almost matching the 770.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle, closer to the 770. And in terms of price, I think it's much cheaper, isn't it?
I don't know what the last price we saw was.
Yeah, you might as well look that up. Meanwhile, I'll give them some of the specs. So compared to the 280, it's got a little bit of a lower clock speed. It's a 918 megahertz boost clock as opposed to the 933 standard from the 280. But because they've improved a bunch of the architecture, we're talking about Tahiti instead of Tonga instead of Hawaii architecture. They've got a theoretical performance which is higher. It's 3.29 teraflops as opposed to the theoretical 2.96 on the old outgoing 280. The TDP is down 10 watts.
More than that, actually. 60. It's only got a TDP of 190.
Yeah. Isn't it the other one 200? On the 280?
250.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so there you go. So it's down quite a bit on the TDP, so it's definitely a lot more efficient of a card. The die size is slightly bigger, but there's tons more transistors in it apparently. So
yeah, so MSRP is only $250 American.
Yeah.
Which means it's way better than a 760 on paper.
On paper. We have yet to actually try this, so we'll let you guys know. A couple other things. It's got apparently like ingrained 4K H.264 encoding. So we're talking about much better performance in terms of 4K content.
Yeah.
Because Hawaii didn't even have that.
Yep.
And also the nice one that we really like, that we really appreciate, bridgeless crossfire. Because oh man, yeah, no bridges.
When we have 4 cards on the test bench,
man.
That is a pain.
Yeah, like finding the bridge and all that stuff, it's tricky. Not to mention trying to get what am I trying to say now? Trying to get the cooler design. Some of the coolers, especially the XFX, the
XFX, MSI Lightning.
They have like troubles with those crossfire bridges getting into those places. So it's really nice having bridgeless crossfire, which is the XDMA crossfire.
Yeah. Last thing is it comes with AMD FreeSync, which for AMD fanboys they'll love that because it's the equivalent of NVIDIA's G-Sync, which means video card refresh rate matches the monitor refresh rate.
Yep.
So you get less screen tearing, no loss in performance.
Yeah, so a couple people are asking about the 900 series. That's not.
That's
we
like
don't know.
It's gonna be for a while.
We don't know. I mean, they said there's been weird rumors about like September, October, November. Like we don't know. It's kind of all over the map at this point. We don't actually know what it's gonna be. So we actually have no news whatsoever on that front. So we don't even have.
We don't even have news on the 80s, to be honest.
We don't even have news that we can't tell you, so we actually have no idea. Yeah, you want to kick off the next one?
Sure. Next thing is NZXT just announced a new S340 case this morning. It's a new all-steel case that's got an even cleaner look than the H440, and it looks to be pretty nice. It's got a nice big window that's bigger than the H440, no optical drives. It's got a lot of hidden drive storage, and some neat cable management holes. You've got a lot of holes in the power supply shroud, a lot through the back plate, a lot through that front radiator / hard drive plate, and it just looks to be a very nice case for people to mod.
Yeah, it's looking like another nice case from NZXT. They're really knocking it apart.
Yeah, this year they've got a bunch
H440
of really good
was like a big hit.
Yeah.
Razer even picked them up, so we'll see how that goes. We haven't got that by the way yet.
Yeah, no, only Linus.
But this one, which is telling you before the stream, we are going to be getting one of those. So we just had a meeting with NZXT with our rep, and he's going to be sending us one right after the production line. So really excited to see that. So when's that one launching? Do we know?
No definite date yet, but
we'll let you guys know. We'll keep posted. All right, next topic is our NVIDIA Game 24. They're 24-hour gaming events. They're going to hold them in LA, Shanghai, Stockholm, and London. Yeah, so like September 18th, so soon.
Yeah, 6 p.m. Pacific. We'll look into it. Leave a comment below if you're interested, but we might set up something to go along with it, maybe something local, maybe something online.
Yeah, if we can't do something local, we'll definitely do something online. I mean, our crew games all the time. So we pick up Edsel as our adopted NCIX brother. But Anthony and I we game with Jack quite often.
Yep.
Keys has been getting married, so he's been a little bit MIA on the battlefield for the
He has
last
a
little
wife
while.
now.
So he's definitely a little bit missing in action. But I think I've been told that once he gets his house set up, I've been promised that he's going to join us again.
We'll see. We'll see if he lives up to his promise.
Which, by the way, you got to get that Minecraft server back up and running. When you were gone in PAX, I had nothing to play. We had to play Mercenary Kings. We played so much Mercenary Kings. It was terrible.
What
It was
a shame.
terrible.
Speaking of PAX, shout out to anyone who went to PAX. PAX was great, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's all brag to the people who didn't go to PAX.
Oh, thanks, Anthony. Thank you for that. We didn't get to go to PAX this year, but you went on your own dime though. So
Yeah, I went with my friends. Jack went with his friends. A few other people in the company went with their friends just for fun. We didn't do any official coverage there.
Yeah. That was good though. I mean, there was nothing huge that was announced there or anything.
Yeah, nothing that we didn't already know. I mean, we got to play demos of Borderlands, the pre-sequel, The Order, Destiny, Evolve. Evolve looks pretty awesome, by the way.
You got the alpha.
I got the alpha key.
And Jack actually got Borderlands like a season's pass for all the DLC.
Yeah. So we're jealous of that.
So jealous. You didn't go?
No, the panel lineup was way too long.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
And we got the WoW beta key for the new expansion. I don't even know what it's called because I don't play WoW anymore, so someone out there probably hates me.
Yeah.
That's a good segue. They also, Alienware announced a new Area 51 system, which is pretty cool. It's a new triangular case, which features like support for multiple graphics cards, ATX motherboard, a bunch of hard drives, and weird.
Yeah. So this is kind of interesting because I find that it's actually kind of a neat design. Like they've actually done something here that they haven't just rebadged a case or just kind of taken a case and thrown some panels on it. They've actually redesigned this from the bottom up. It's got a 30-degree kind of angle on it, and they basically have the I/O exhausting out the heat out, kind of like at an angle.
Yeah.
So it's also kind of have you seen the back of it?
Yeah, you can fit all the hard drives in there.
All the hard drives have these little trays, and they just go in the back. Modular power supply fits 3 graphics cards, I think, is the maximum.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's looking like a really beefy system. It's X99, but I mean that doesn't mean
it'll trickle down to like the Z97 series. So
yeah, it theoretically doesn't mean. I mean it's still a case, so you can't. It doesn't. There's no reason why an LG 1150 won't fit in there with the Z97. It looks decent. Did you check it out while you're there?
Yeah, I did. It looks a lot bigger in person than in pictures show. I mean, if you think about it, it's got some nice rounded edges, which kind of hides the size of it all, but it's still pretty nice. It'll fit in the same footprint as like a regular ATX case with some cool airflow, actually.
All right, so we're coming up on almost half an hour here, so we'll wrap it up soon. Last quick topic.
The Fappening.
The Fappening. So, I mean, we're not going to talk about or link to any of the actual content here, but
we don't condone stealing. First of all, we don't condone stealing photos from people's phones, but
so it really is a discussion on cloud storage more than anything else. I mean, the initial report was that this was an iCloud thing, but I think that's been a little bit under dispute because
it's actually more of a heartbeat issue. Yeah. So this ties back to that exploit, and apparently that was how the hacker got all these logins and passwords.
Has that been confirmed now? Is that what the leading theory is right now? Because I heard there was a couple of things. Because originally it was iCloud. Apple was suspiciously silent on the topic, which is not unusual. They might be investigating or whatnot. So it could be anything in terms of on Apple's side. But there was not just Apple devices. So I know that people were saying that there was Android devices and others on there. So people are not sure if it was Google Drive or if it was or Dropbox or something like that. Any other app that it could be on celebrities' phones. I think the one of the interesting theories that I saw was that it was at the Emmys. Mm-hmm. That somebody had planted a free Wi-Fi hotspot that was just like that basically they listened on all the traffic. So I don't know. I mean, it still remains to be seen what exactly happened in this case. But I mean, it's really the end of the story is don't put your nude pics on cloud storage.
Yeah, print them out, put them in a binder. It's a lot safer
in a
that
binder?
way.
In a binder, Anthony?
With sleeves, so that it protects the pictures.
All right. So I guess the last thing is okay. So we're coming up at half an hour now. How about you guys just give us some Q&A? So hit us up on Twitter at NCIX Anthony at NCIX Wheels, and let's see what you guys have on that. And I'll kind of monitor the chat if I can. The chat has just moved so fast though. So if you guys could tweet at us at NCIX Wheels, all one word, at NCIX Anthony, then we'll be able to take a look. Let's just log in here. Twitter. Did you know that Twitter with one T redirects to real Twitter?
Really?
They bought that one out as well.
Now what about Twitter with 3 T's?
I don't know. You're gonna have to try that yourself. It's probably porn though.
It also goes to Twitter.
Oh,
they thought this through.
So far, the only person that's tweeting at me is NCIX Official, telling us about the live stream. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, and another thing, giveaways. You guys asking like, oh no, I missed. Maybe I didn't win this giveaway because there's a ton of people that entered. Every Monday we're gonna be doing another giveaway. So we are not gonna tell you what, but next Monday we're gonna start a new giveaway, and we're gonna have them weekly. So starting on Mondays we're gonna have a new giveaway, and next week we might have an IPS monitor. Maybe 27-inch IPS monitor. So we're working with Jack. Jack's still got to film that, but we might be doing an episode Unpacked with a giveaway. So we will keep you guys posted on what we're going to be doing. All right. You're saying binders full of women. Okay. Min Text says, how can I check the PSU without opening the case? I have an H440 and it is inside a little box. I'm not really sure what you mean by check the PSU. I mean,
if you want the specifications, there's really no easy way other than removing the shroud. Yeah,
you're gonna have to crack that one open. There's not really a way of getting that one. Will the contest winners also be notified? Yes. So we are gonna pick them live. You don't have to be on the live stream to get it. We are gonna put the winners in the description for that video. Once it goes in the archive, and we are also going to notify all the winners by email. That's why we used emails. All we needed was your email and the code when you guys entered, so that's what we needed.
Vantex N2 Pro or NZXT H440. Well, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. I mean, H440 is still, it's nice, but it's more for air cooling, whereas Vantex N2 Pro is probably more towards water cooling. One is cleaner than the other. The H440 basically has all solid side panels. There's no like dips, or there's no lighting. There's not too much going on.
Yeah.
Whereas the N2 Pro has like brushed aluminum type of look to it.
I'm liking the N2 Pro. It's a nice case.
It's nice. We recently filmed it with another full water cooling setup, and
yeah, we're liking it.
Fits it pretty nicely.
John Bailey on Twitter says at Corsair Memory or at T-Skill Tech. Well, I mean, honestly. Okay, here's the thing about RAM, is that RAM is RAM. It's not really differentiated by very much. Especially DDR3. If we're talking that, like, the companies have created such a stable ecosystem, and they're so good at making RAM now, and that pretty much whatever stick you get is going to be stable. There's very little variance in terms of quality, and so at that point, it just becomes a question of which heat spreader do you like. I mean, heat spreaders don't matter. Like if you're talking about like dissipating the heat off of those RAM sticks, doesn't really matter a heck of a lot.
No.
But it's really about your looks. I mean that is basically an aesthetic purchase at that point. You could be getting bare sticks for all you need.
Yeah. The number one thing to keep in mind is don't go for the ultra tall, ultra fancy ones, because you'll just run into compatibility issues down the road. Go for low profile. Go for ones that are like not much taller, and you should be good to go for many years.
Yeah, I would say if you get something that's standard height, then that's definitely going to be beneficial to you.
Oh, and something that matches your color scheme, because we're all superficial like that.
Yep. Either that or just get something like the Dominators that are kind of just silver and neutral.
Yeah.
Or a can of
Plastic.
plastic.
Possibly black and green.
Oh, no. Linus stole that from us. So Anthony actually has been modding stuff with plastic for a while now, and then people are like, "Oh, look at Linus! Look at that smart idea!" It's like that was from us. We did it first. We did it first. What cameras do you use? From Joe Richardson on Twitter.
We have a lot.
We use quite a bit. We have a Nex dash.
Yeah, so for when we're just doing quick snapshots, we're using an NEX 5R.
Yeah.
It's 16 megapixels. It's got Wi-Fi. It's pretty convenient.
Yeah, it's a good camera. For our main camera though, the one that we're recording this on, it's a VG900. What resolution you guys are getting right now is 720p, and I think that has to do with our crappy Aver media capture card. So we're gonna have to get something like that to fix those issues. But that's a 1080p camera, shoots at 60 frames a second. Really good quality in terms of what you need it for. Of course, an SD card's not memory stick. Oh my god. So it's a decent camera. So that's what we use in terms of our gear. Yeah. You have a personal camera.
Yeah, I brought my personal camera to work. For anyone that follows NCIX PC on Facebook, I use a Nikon D600 with a Sigma 35mm lens. We recently upgraded, so we're actually going to be shooting with a Panasonic GH4 in the future. So we'll get even sexier B-roll.
Yeah,
and
so
even nice, like just as nice pictures.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Joe Richardson again. Could you list all of the NCIX YouTube channel staff? Okay, so we've got us two, obviously. Wheels and Anthony. There is Jack and Keys. They're basically hosts and they write and basically they do kind of everything. They shoot all their own B-roll. We're not very differentiated here. We don't really have a camera operator. That's kind of one person that's down the road we'd love to get. We've also got NZXT Ace, who's working away over there. He's editing right now, and that's it. Like there's only 5 of us in the office, and NZXT Anthony is only here part time. So that's our whole staff. Like we're just a 5-man crew, 4.5, not because you're short. All right, you got any Twitter questions?
What NZXT case were you guys talking about? We were talking about the new S340.
Yeah.
Give that a Google. That's actually available on NZXT's site right now.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Angelo Caesar. What do you suggest as a gaming keyboard, mouse, or an SSD? Well, that's a lot to ask for.
It's a lot of
keyboard, mouse, SSD. All right, for an SSD, I'll start with that one because that's probably the easiest. SSD, buy whatever. At this point, the performance of a high-performance SSD is so marginal compared to like a value SSD that quite honestly I would actually just go for whatever you're getting in terms of price. Yep. Price per gigabyte, just go for the lowest. The budget, like the value SSDs are so good these days. Like they're so good.
Yeah.
And you can sometimes afford 2 for the price of like a high-end SSD.
Or just like a larger capacity.
Or a larger capacity, or you can RAID them or whatever you want to do with them. And yeah, I would say in terms of capacity, 128 is your bare minimum.
Like go for a 256.
Yeah, at this point, 256. Like they're so cheap now.
Games are getting way too big nowadays. Like Battlefield 4 and Wolfenstein, they're what, 40 gigabytes?
Yeah, they're
something
huge.
Ridiculous like that. So that's just one game on your OS, and you're already maxing it out.
Do you know Ed stores all his stuff on 3.5s, on like magnetic?
Yeah, that's why we load faster than him.
Yeah, so not only that, but I load slower. I've got them rated, but I have an old Marvell like third-party controller. Intel, like their native SATA ports are so good,
yep.
And their RAID solution just super good on the chipset.
Rock solid with 0 problems.
As for gaming keyboard and mouse, you're gonna have to check out our videos because it's way too much for me to run down. Most of it comes down to performance, or personal preference. Sorry. Your gaming keyboard, mechanical for sure. Just go with mechanical, and then just go down to your store. Like go down to your local store and try the mice out. Try the mice in your hand, see how it feels, see how you like it. Your keyboard, definitely get a mechanical, and just that again you get to try out. Like all around the office here, we are predominantly brown.
Most of us use brown switches here, Cherry MX Browns. Although the new switches such as KL or
KL, yeah, KL switches are pretty good.
Or the Razer ones, the orange and greens, they're all pretty good.
They're all pretty good. I know Jack likes blues, so he likes the clicky tactile feedback. Keys uses red switches. but I think he uses that just because that's the first one he got. It's not because he actually likes that over the other ones.
We sit beside each other pretty close, so we use brown just so we don't annoy the hell out of each other.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's definitely our preferences of those. Mouse, you gotta try them out because claw grip, palm grip. What's the other one? I keep forgetting.
I don't remember.
Anyways, it depends on how you grip the mouse and how you use it. Just find something that's comfortable for you. Personally, for me, I like the Logitech shape, the classic Logitech shape. I don't know these new Proteus Core ones and all these gaming ones. I'm not a big fan of those. But I've got a G500, the original one, so I like that one quite a bit. You got any more questions? You got one you got to pick out?
What do you think about non-mechanical keyboards? They're perfectly fine if you've never used a mechanical keyboard. If once you start using a mechanical keyboard and you go back, they're just ultra mushy and there's no feedback, and you're like struggling to press down keys well.
Yeah. So I actually made this analogy last week when Keys was in the office and we were discussing mechanical, non-mechanical, because we actually took away Ace's keyboard for the day because we needed to film with Tesoro. They were here. So the analogy that I've said basically is like, you've got your standard car. Let's say you've got a Civic or whatever your family car is. All of a sudden, someone gives you a Ferrari. You're like, this is sweet. Like I'm driving around. Like you don't need a Ferrari around the city, but it's fun. It's fun. It's more responsive. Just it feels so nice to be driving a Ferrari compared to like driving your old Civic. But once you go back, you don't really realize it until you go back, because your Civic party is doing you just fine. You never really cared until someone gave you something that's way better, because it just feels like so much more responsive when you're typing on it. It's not one of those things that matter to you if you've always used the memory keyboard, but as soon as you make that switch and you've given it a fair shake, I guarantee you won't want to move back. Like we use mechanicals all the time, even on our test benches, because we're like, I'm not good at game or test bench or type in benchmark numbers on a non-mechanical keyboard. So we really like those.
Do you guys play League? I'm the only one in the office that plays League.
Yes, I'm not a MOBA fan. I can't get into them.
I love playing them. I stopped playing them recently just because I couldn't deal with the stress of playing with pub teammates. But that doesn't stop me from playing ARAMs and still playing with friends. I picked up a bunch of Riot codes, so I'm probably not going to share those with you guys. I'm sorry.
Why not, Anthony?
Those are sacred.
Aren't these your fans?
Riot codes are sacred.
Yeah, I can't get into MOBAs. I think the problem is that I feel I need to invest a lot of time to get any good at them, because otherwise I just get wrecked.
There's a pretty high learning curve.
Yeah, so
especially
I think
with games like Dota 2 and League of Legends, you gotta learn all the champions, you gotta learn all the skills, you gotta learn all the items, and you gotta learn what counters what's good at what.
When I get into a game, I really want to finish everything there is and like actually get good at it. So like I'm not really a casual. I'll just pick it up and play whatever. So that's basically my type of game, is that I want to get like all. That's why I don't play RPGs. I don't play RPGs because I have to finish everything, like every side quest. Oh man, I finished. Oh man, all the Watch Dogs side quests. Oh, I had to finish all those first. It was terrible. It was just terrible. Let's see here. What case would you recommend for an M-ATX home server case? 4 to 8 hard drives. Actually, oddly enough, we ran into this situation ourselves, because we were like, we wanted to build our NAS in the office, and we're like, hey, what are we gonna use for our little server? Because we have 8 drives, no, 9 drives in there now. 9. But we basically wanted to figure out what was the best configuration for that. We ended up going with a server rack because we had NCIX resources, but we looked at quite a few options in terms of the cases before that. I think
we're looking at the Antec 12 or 1200, I think.
Yeah.
There's that one really big full tower case with a lot of drivers, and the thermal tape V71, was it?
It wasn't the 1200, I don't think. Was it? That one fit like 9 drives, but I don't think that's the one.
Yeah, it was the V71. But in the end, we figured that these were still consumer gaming, well, not gaming, but consumer cases that don't offer you the features of a real rack. So the features of a rack are like the hot swappable drive bays and really good airflow and no restrictions on your power supply. And these are all things that we considered for long-term use. So we're going to be swapping the drives in and out. Stuff is going to eventually die, so we wanted a way to quickly be able to replace the drives or repair the drives without any downtime.
Yeah, that's what it was. The 1900. It's this giant monstrosity of a case that just looks like it looks like an enclosure that's just been like stretched like crazy. It's the Antec 1900. But yeah, we ended up going with a case just because or a server rack just because that's what it's meant for, and it's actually going to be better for us in the long run. It's like swapping a drive out with like non-hot swap is just not.
You'd have to shut down the whole thing, grab a screwdriver, slowly unscrew it from both sides.
Not only that, but the backplane that makes it so much better. We hook up. Is it one Molex for every few drives?
Yep, one Molex for every 4 drives, I believe.
Yeah, so it's quite awesome. Like you just basically plug in all the Molex, and everything else is toolless after you get the drive in the tray.
Mm-hmm.
So we really like that.
What useful Android apps do you use day to day? We don't use many customized ones. I use AirDroid, so I can transfer files from my phone to my computer and back and forth via Wi-Fi, so that I don't have to plug it in because Samsung has their amazingly well-designed USB cover on the bottom. We use Facebook, Instagram a lot, Twitter because, well, we kind of do all that stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any
apps?
Yeah. I actually use TELUS Optic a lot because, first of all, because my dad works at TELUS, but second of all, because you get to set PVR recordings from your phone. You can actually watch TV on your phone through Optic TV.
Yeah, let me see. What are my apps here that I can't live without here? My flashlight app. I always have one on the home screen. Social media stuff. Recently we've done Razer comms because Axon went down. Mm-hmm. And I like the integration with the phone, actually. I like it. Quite like it. Let's see here. Plants vs. Zombies 2 lives on my phone a lot. Timberman. Oh, man, Timberman. That's been in my existence, that game. Also, let's see. TeamViewer I use. So if I need quick access to my home system, even for file transfers or whatnot, I use TeamViewer. And that's about it, really. WhatsApp is my social... WhatsApp and Hangouts are my messaging apps of choice. I used to use Facebook Messenger, but not anymore. Not really using that as much.
What do you think about Corsair 380T? Funny you asked that. We have one sitting around here.
Yeah, we've got a little lunchbox.
We quite like it.
We've got a video coming out in like 2 days on this one. It's just you're just waiting for Edsel to edit it, but it's a solid case.
Yeah, it really brings you back to the good old LAN days and thermal take.
Yeah, it's a nice case. It's definitely really solid. The fan controller built right in here, so you have 3-stage fan controller, power button, reset, and those side things that pop off are quite nice. The motherboard sits flat, like right around halfway, and it's got a giant fan right in the front here with the illuminated light with some more lighting effects up here. So it's a solid LAN case, I must say.
Yeah, there's built-in lighting effects. There's really good airflow side to side. You can put a 240mm radiator, such as an H100, inside. It looks like a lunchbox.
Sorry. Angelo Caesar is actually telling me, should he buy a mouse and keyboard or an SSD?
Oh.
So I totally misread that question. But what do you think? What would you buy if you had a choice? If you're gonna buy like a gaming keyboard and a mouse.
I would buy an SSD.
I would too.
An SSD, when you go from a regular hard drive to an SSD, you go from waiting 15 to 30 seconds to 5 seconds.
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like much, but that really adds up. And especially in games, you stay immersed a lot more.
Yeah, and it just feels like your computer feels faster. Like everything
even just
pops.
every day-to-day usage things like Facebook, the Internet, File Explorer, Windows Media Player, everything will load instantly.
Yeah, we really like SSDs. Good stuff. What's the best way to find out which switches you like? All right, so number 1, go to the store. NCIX. If you've got a local NCIX, go take a look. We just did a video at our grand opening in Lansdowne Center. So
we have all the different type of switches on display. You can go into the store, try typing on them. Feel
type on them like this.
Yeah, this is how real.
This is how you type. This is how you hack. Hacking all the things. Yeah, just try it out. If that's not available to you, another option possibly is they have these like little switch, little mini keys that you can buy, and they basically have all the switch types. It's kind of hard to really discern typing from that because it's not a real experience. But it's the best you can get if you can't actually get into a store.
Ducky sells a set. They're like $10-15 and get them shipped to your door.
They've got like one key each. They've got like a brown, red,
Blue, black.
Yeah. So that's probably the best way to determine which of the switches you like without actually getting into a store. Is it possible to overclock a CPU when the motherboard doesn't allow overclocking? No.
Short answer, no.
The ASUS boards, however, on the H97 platform, I believe,
They just unlocked.
they unlock
overclocking.
all of the 97 series of the ASUS boards can overclock, but only as a multiplier overclock.
You can't change the base clock. You can't change any of the frequencies.
Yeah, so you're only as a base clock overclock, which is still decent. So I mean that's basically the best way to answer that question. Let's see. All right. So anything you got? If not, then I think we're going to shut
That's it.
down.
We're hitting 50
Yeah,
minutes.
we're almost an hour now. So thanks guys for tuning in. This is going to be as an archive, so we are going to have this right up on the YouTube page pretty soon after it processes. If you guys prefer the edited Netlinked as opposed to Netlinked Live, give us a thumbs down. If you like this format and you want us to try it, what I'm thinking is that we might do Netlinked Live on like Mondays and maybe Fridays or something like that, or Monday, Wednesday or something like that. And then we're going to do the normal style of Netlinked, where we discuss the news, just give you guys the headlines and all that stuff, with the intros that you guys always comment about. But we're going to see if we can get those mixed in with the other style. Or if you guys prefer that style and like it, just give us a comment. So give us a thumbs up if you guys like this format. Thumbs down if you prefer the edited style. And I think that's it. This is NCIX Wheels.
NCIX Anthony.
And we'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Peace.